Hi Gemini, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Gemini for this upcoming week in March. If you're brand new to my channel or unfamiliar with it, everything that you may want to know regarding this reading and the video is in the description box below. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate your support. For everybody watching, I do want to remind you that this is a general love reading, so it can pertain to just about anything: relationships, work situations, family dynamics, friendships, you name it, it might apply. Also, be flexible with the energy. You may feel like I'm reading for you. You could also potentially feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. You can interchange the roles within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. My intention is always to reach those that need the message the most and those that will benefit the most from the message. Okay, Gemini? So, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't, and let's see what's up for Gemini. Let's get started. Here we go, Gemini. 7 of Pentacles in reverse in your underlying energy, paired with Judgment in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. The 4 of Cups. The Ace of Cups. The Fool in reverse. The Ace of Swords. And the Lovers in reverse. Okay, Gemini, so what I'm seeing in this first set of cards is a certain level of frustration regarding not a relationship, but a decision possibly that was made within a relationship. Or some truth surrounding a relationship. I get the sense that there's a reluctance or refusal to see another's point of view or another's perspective. There's this dissatisfaction or frustration surrounding again, maybe a decision that was made or some choices that have been made in the past. Let's see what else we get for Gemini. We have the Fool, this time in the upright position. And Strength in reverse. The 4 of Cups in reverse. The Hierophant. 8 of Cups in reverse. The World. The 8 of Wands. And the 4 of Pentacles. So I feel like there's been some risks taken in the past. It feels like somebody has made some decisions to try something new or take a chance on something or delve into uncharted territory, and it resulted in some frustration. I feel like poor decisions were made, and there is a lack of willingness to see that or to admit responsibility, or a lack of willingness to make things right or do what's right. I feel, Gemini, like you might be stuck in this feeling feeling like you need to take care of yourself right now, that you need to look out for yourself, because something did not go your way. Something did not transpire the way you had hoped it would, and I feel like you put a lot of energy and time into it. It may have been something brand new, like you said, maybe you were taking a chance or risking, taking a risk that felt, it felt like something that was unpredictable, something that you wouldn't necessarily know what the outcome was, but you did it anyway. And ultimately, it did not turn out the way you had hoped. I feel like this is pertaining to a relationship or something that happened within a relationship. I think right now you might be trying to hang on to the relationship. Let's get some more cards out here. So we have the 9 of Wands, 4 of Swords, the King of Pentacles, Death, the Queen of Swords, the World in reverse, the Hierophant again, and the Page of Pentacles. So I think the King of Pentacles is someone you're dealing with, Gemini. I feel like you've had communication with this person, but I don't feel like you're seeing eye to eye with this person. There may have been some decisions that at this point in time has you at odds with this individual, or again, just not seeing eye to eye or not seeing their perspective. The King of Pentacles is someone who's very grounded, someone who's very loyal, a compassionate, good person, high integrity. This is definitely someone you want in your corner. This can be a father figure, someone who cares for others, protects others, a provider, somebody who works very hard. And I feel like there's some disruption in this relationship with this individual. And it's because you're not seeing eye to eye about a situation. Now, the right thing to do in this current situation where you're at with this individual is to communicate. But there's also the sense of trying to figure out what went wrong without a sense that a willingness to accept some responsibility, or maybe admit some things, some decisions that were made that were the reason behind whatever's going on between you and this King of Pentacles. That feels very vague, I know, Gemini. I'm trying to clear it up for myself too. I think that you want to take another chance to reconnect with this person, or see their perspective, or communicate so that you can work with them. But right now, I think that you are nursing some old wounds, trying to get past this feeling that there was some poor decisions made and that you haven't quite recovered from that. There's a certain level of frustration and feeling like you're putting a lot of time into something that is ultimately not worth it or not transpiring the way you had hoped. But there's still fight in you based on what I'm seeing. And I think more than anything, Gemini, you're just trying to gain some clarity. You're just trying to figure out what went wrong and maybe how to try again, but this time with the right mindset, with experience under your belt that has made you wiser so that you can make moves in the right direction. Let's get some more cards out here. We have the Ace of Wands, the Emperor in reverse, the Star in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Swords again, Two of Wands, Justice, and the Five of Swords. So this Queen of Swords, I do believe, represents you, Gemini. And this Queen of Swords is an individual who is a very intelligent thinker and communicator. This is somebody who doesn't put up with bullshit. This is somebody who can see through a lie a mile away. Somebody who can be blunt and some might consider cold when communicating, but she's very to the point and direct. This is somebody who has a lot of experience under her belt. I feel right now this is you, and I do feel like you are mending from a disappointment from the past, maybe a mistake that was made or questioning some decisions that were made, and I feel like you want a new start, a new beginning. But if I'm being honest, Gemini, I feel like there's this lack of willingness to maybe see the mistakes, admit the mistakes, or confront them and put them behind you. So a decision just has to be made on your part. Ultimately, you have to make the choice, Gemini. Do you have the guts to try again? Can you make this happen again? Can you repair what's happened in the past by coming to terms with what went wrong? Because right now there's no movement in the right direction. There's no movement to repair what has occurred. And this King of Pentacles is thinking that this might be a closing out of a situation and or relationship, that this is how it has to be, because there is lack of communication, or if there is communication, it's just not a lack of coming together. There's just not a compromise or a willingness to see another's perspective. I'm getting a lot of readings like this lately. Must be the energy in the air. But you're still fighting. You're still fighting for another shot at this. You're still willing to take the risk. You just don't want to make the same mistakes. So I think you're trying to figure out, again, what went wrong and how to avoid doing that again. It does look like there's a willingness to communicate, which is good, to gain some clarity. But it also does feel like you and or this person that you're dealing with, this King of Pentacles, is still hanging on to the conflict. Maybe that's where the problem lies is that this unwillingness to move forward and leave the past in the past, accept some responsibility for what went wrong, and just leave it behind you so that you can try again, or start again, or have the opportunity even. Let's get this last round of cards out here for you, Gemini. We have the King of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. Four of Cups again for the third time in the same set of cards. Seven of Pentacles, this time in the upright position. Nine of Cups in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups. And the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I think this King of Wands represents this King of Pentacles. I think that you want this King of Pentacles to come forward, to take action, to make a move, to reconnect, to reconcile. I think you want him to be the one to jump off the cliff first this time, to try again, but he's not budging, and it's because, again, there's a sense that there's this lack of hope, or he's just not seeing that there is any hope. I think he feels like he hasn't been heard. I don't think he sees any improvement in the situation, so he's probably not likely to take a chance and make a move and do the work that you expect him to do. Because I do feel, Gemini, that you have been the one who's initiated in the past, who maybe took that risky chance to come forward, to make some decisions regarding whatever's going on within this relationship, and it didn't go the way you had hoped, the way maybe you had planned. You might feel that the ball is in this King's court now to make some decisions regarding this relationship or what's going on within this relationship. Because as it stands right now, I don't think that you're willing to take another chance to come forward. In other words, to be the one who initiates or takes action. Because that's not what you want out of this relationship. You want this person to be as invested as you feel that you are in this relationship. And right now, he's not. And that's not what you want. You might as well consider this a done deal if this King does not take action to initiate some kind of response or action that tells you that he's invested. I think you feel like you've done all the work, Gemini. And at this point in time, because it hasn't worked, I think you're kind of off on your own, licking your wounds, trying to figure out what went wrong. Again, trying to gain a certain amount of clarity and maybe wisdom from a past disappointment. And while doing that, hoping for some kind of offer, some kind of initiation, something from this individual, this King of Pentacles, who just doesn't feel like he's making any moves, because I don't think he sees hope in the situation. So he's just not willing to take the risk. And I'm going to take this card. But I do feel that because he's not willing to take this risk, you're starting to doubt whether or not you want to take another chance yourself. So we have the hero in reverse. I think this is appropriate for this reading. I just pulled this not too long ago. in another reading. And the Hero in reverse, if it's in reverse, can indicate a potential blockage. Also, the Hero is the 12 of Fire, which is also the Knight of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite. This one has similar meaning, but more in-depth meaning, so I'm going to read the whole thing to you. It is about a page long, and I will display it in the upright for you. Okay, Gemini, so let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. When the Hero appears reversed, he represents a need to perform good deeds in order to increase one's self-esteem or worth in the eyes of others. He can be described as a wounded hero, one who needs to be told that he is good by others. Sometimes it is because he cannot see the good within himself, and sometimes it is because he craves the attention. It feeds an emptiness or lack within. Whether his low self-opinion is born of past mistakes that causes others pain or harm, or if it is born of mistreatment and wounds inflicted upon him by others, the Hero reversed is often weighed down by feelings of blame, guilt, shame, and fear. And the only way he thinks he can assuage those feelings is by performing deeds that earn him praise and glory. When others value him, he can pretend. He can once more value himself. Unfortunately, until the Hero can forgive himself or those who hurt him, he will not find peace. He is doomed to go on one quest of salvation after the next. The Hero reverse comes to ask you to look to your reasons for helping others. Are your actions inspired by love and compassion, or shame and guilt? Are you helping others because you genuinely want to help, or are you helping others because helping them and earning their praise and gratitude makes you think better of yourself? It could be said that if the outcome, helping someone in need, is the same, regardless of the motivation, then it matters not. This is, however, not a question of changing the outcome, but in allowing the wounded hero within to make peace with the past. Have you embraced behavior that is less than honorable, caused hurt to another because you may have lied or deceived them? Have you ever been disloyal or unfaithful? Have you hurt someone innocent and now move through life with feeling of regret or remorse weighing you down? We all have moments when our behavior and actions have been questionable. We have all disappointed others. We have all done wrong. Guilt, shame, and self-loathing are the tools with which we punish ourselves. They are not the tools of a hero, but instead the tools of a jailer or torturer. The Hero reversed comes to tell you that it is time to put those tools aside and to rescue yourself. Only your acceptance and forgiveness will set you free. Forgive your past, be merciful, and embody the compassion of the hero you strive to be. So, honestly, Gemini, I get the feeling that this is representing you, and it could add some insight into what it is that you're dealing with. I do feel, again, that you're dealing with some past disappointments, and I do believe that they were probably mistakes that were made by you, and maybe, and this can represent the other person too, but maybe there's just some resistance to seeing that those past mistakes not only hurt you, but hurt others as well. And maybe accepting that is the first step to making some movement forward. Because right now there's stagnation when it comes to making the right choices or doing the right thing. You do have the Ace of Cups out here in your reading prominently a couple times in the upright, which to me in this case indicates self-love, the need for self-love, maybe the need to do some healing for yourself and gain some clarity as to where you're headed next, or what your motives are, or maybe what you've learned from some past events, mistakes, and things that maybe had you feeling frustrated, lack of hope, maybe feeling like you want to just throw your hands up in the air and say, I don't want to do it anymore. And again, this could represent your energy or the person that you're dealing with, this King of Pentacles. So Gemini, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity, gave you something to work with. It feels like you're dealing with some issues, and I wish the best for you. So thank you for joining me. If this did resonate, please give me a like, share, and or subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. Those are always great. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Gemini.